Welcome to InTouch, dedicated to real estate professionals worldwide. We're here to educate you, entertain you, and empower you in all facets of real estate. Are you ready for the latest news, trends, and market updates? Then it's time to get in touch.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today in the studio we have Olga Martinez with OM Interior Design. She is going to share with us a little bit more about how accessible interior design can be to our clients and how utilizing or collaborating with an interior designer can really add value to your business. Welcome, Olga, and we're happy to have you with us.
Thank you for inviting me, Angelique. I'm happy to be here.
Today, we'll be discussing some basics about interior design services and how you as an agent can speak with confidence to your clients about interior design and how you can add value through interior design to your business.
I think that it's a world that is not known by everybody, how many services an interior designer can provide for homeowners. And sometimes it's hard to speak about the added value that a interior designer will bring on a consultation. But nowadays, with technology, there's a huge array of services that we can provide, from space planning to remodel to turnkey design, correct? And then everything in between. We can work in stages, different budgets, work with furniture that the client is bringing from a previous home and making it work in a new environment. We can also do just staging like we've done, you and I, many times. And there are just different ways where we can help clients depending on where they are in life, if this is their first home, second, third home, and depending on their budget.
Thank you, Olga. Can you go a little bit more into the concept of space planning and how you can work with agents as well as clients on helping plan the ideal concept of a space?
My company in particular, not every company, but I know a lot of interior design. Interior designers provide services just like mine, where we can do something as simple as space planning, and just communicate via email. And you send us plans, photos of the room, dimensions, and we can give you advice on the right size of furniture to purchase for a space and how to place it to maximize that space. We can also provide a more involved service in which we walk the home with the new homeowner and we talk about specific needs, on how to place the furniture depending on how many people are living in the home, if there are pets, if there are kids. And so it can be a more tailored service for a homeowner or a family. And it can be in person, of course. After that, we can also send, like if you want another stage above that, I have a program where we do space planning, and we can also suggest, based on the design style that the client prefers, we can send links of items we recommend for purchasing to fit the design style, the right dimension, and the customer needs. And the client can purchase as they feel comfortable with their budget on their own and manage delivery. Or there can be a more personalized service in which space planning is provided, and if that is approved, we do the own purchase of the furniture and accessories, and we take charge of the installation.
Next, I'd like for you to speak a little bit about the accessibility of interior design. I remember just sitting around one day speaking with you about interior design and how you shared that really you can work with any budget. And I didn't quite understand what that meant until you really got into the detail of how you can make that work and allow really anyone, whether in a half a million, million plus home, uh, plan interior design needs according to their budget.
Yes, that's a great question. I think most people have this idea of interior designer being only for a high socioeconomic class, right? Or only if you buy a really expensive home would you add this value. But the reality is that interior designers, interior design services are available for everybody at any budget. Of course, the smaller the budget, the larger percentage would go to the service fee. So just like planning real estate with your client, a designer would plan the client needs so that they get the biggest bang for their buck, basically. But we really work in a percentage basis. Me in particular, I try to set the client's expectations of 10 to 20% of the cost of the home in homes that are less than $1 million. More than $1 million, the percentage varies. And of course, the taste level of the homeowner will also impact the budget that they're going to spend. But when we're talking about clients that have not had experience with interior designer, and maybe they're asking you as the real estate agent how much to plan, how much to leave on the side besides the purchase of the home and all the costs of a new home. I would say to have a 10 to 20% in mind that they're going to spend on new furniture if they don't have furniture already that they're moving in. And this way, the level of the furniture and accessories will go in hand to the level of the home cost. Other than that, most people, if they're doing a big purchase like a new home, are bringing already some furnitures or they're willing to wait a little bit. And so there's a lot of designers like myself that will help you add new pieces without having to get rid of everything you have, which will make the budget more manageable.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that point up, Olga, because it reminds me of when we staged Kristen's house in the Heights,
Yes.
the townhome in the Heights. Okay, wonderful. When we first went in, we did a walkthrough with the client, and you were able to incorporate quite a bit of what Kristen already had. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I want the agents that are listening to our podcast to know that collaborating with an interior designer can really help add value in terms of budget when it comes to staging rather than a high monthly cost of staging. If they don't have that budget to spend, they can use a consultation with an interior designer instead and utilize some of the furniture and accessories they already have in their home and just make sure it's staged from a designer perspective with a designer's eye.
That's correct. Like we work with your client in the Heights, um, sometimes it's not necessary to buy new furniture, but to clean out the space, to move around things where they make more sense. And even the clients, when they see it in a new life, they get to fall in love with it again. Um, I think that a lot of times we just collect clutter and editing what we have makes a world of difference, in which we can work with the client for a smaller budget using the same pieces that they have and making the home look new and fresh.
Yes, absolutely. And what I've noticed is that when we're done, they wish they could just keep the home. It's like that the show Love It or List It. They end up loving it.
Yes.
And I'm like, don't do too good of a job. I'll be out of a job. I'm kidding. All right. Well, would you like to share a little bit about just your experience with working with realtors and, kind of how would the collaboration with the agent look like, and what are your expectations for a good collaboration?
Real estate business, just like interior design business, I think we make our business stronger when we have repeated clients, right? That's the goal, that they continue looking for us and then share with their friends and family members and coworkers what a great experience they had when we provided a service. And so in that, I think interior designers and real estate agents really benefit from each other when we develop a strong relationship. And with that, I would say partner build those relationships with interior designers that are in the same level of homes you tend to sell. Or if you, as a real estate agent, have different markets, then have different design firms that move in those different markets. Like I said, this interior design is accessible for everybody, but interior design firms are not all going to do all levels of homes. And so if you're selling homes in a market of $4 to $7 million, then you should build a relationship with a designer that has the experience and moves in that level of homes. And build another relationship with a designer that loves to do design for new homeowners, even condominiums or homes with budgets of 350,000 to 700,000. The level of experience changes a lot, but it's really what's targeted for that demographic of home that you're selling. And once you build that relationship, ask questions. How do you work? How do you charge? What are the percentages that you usually spend on your projects? And like I said, it could change depending on the client's needs, but it can give you a guide to offer this information to your client, and especially have them be prepared for before they're buying the home. Have them have a budget in mind, because obviously you want them to enjoy the home once they move, and part of enjoying the home is having the right environment around you. I think that when I bought my first home many years ago, that was one of the things that I really love about that first real estate agent that helped me find my home, that he made it very clear that buying the home was not the only expense I was going to have, and to be able to prepare for all the other expenses that came right after buying the home in order to enjoy my home better, really changed my perspective and my experience. When I moved into my new home, I was allowed to move in to a furnished place where I had not everything I needed, but almost everything I needed right at the beginning, and enjoy my home from day one.
So, Olga, I mentioned that I also offer commercial real estate services. I'd like to, if it's okay, don't mean to put you on the spot, but I would love for you to talk a little bit about the airport project you did with wallpaper installation. Completely didn't remember earlier, but would you like to share a little bit about the wallpaper installation services that you also offer, and just some general knowledge that most clients or agents may not know about the luxury market and wallpaper installation and everything that goes with it?
We did. I have a group within my company that does luxury wall covering installation, including one of a kind art like we did in the International Airport of Houston. As you know, it won the prize a couple of years ago for number one airport in the world for art. And the curator for the International Airport of Houston is doing an amazing work to showcase Texans artists throughout the Houston airport. We're hoping they finally complete it so everybody can come from all over the world and see it. But yeah, we have one of the artists that won the contest for the tunnel between, I want to say it's D and E gates, to install this. I don't remember. I think it was like 200 feet of tunnel with an art installation that looks like you are under the sea with all the sea fauna and flora from the Texas coast. So very interesting piece. I recommend you to go see it. And if anybody is coming from out of town, please take them. It's a beautiful work by artist Jan B. Fonsby. And we have done other contract installations. It's definitely a place to bring a building to the new era of Instagram, an Instagram of photos. So we do add that service for contract. I don't do contract design per se, except for luxury wall covering or art installations, but we do partner with a lot of contract designers and architects and builders for other needs you may have. So if you need a referral, please also reach out to us. There's hundreds of designers in Houston, but at the same time, it seems like it's a very connected network. So we do have a lot of partnership with other designers that may be able to take larger projects that my firm cannot take.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've also noticed that in commercial spaces, the murals and wallpaper installations have really been taking off for entire wall panels to be covered with either wallpaper or murals. Is that something you can also collaborate with local or national designers to help realize a vision that perhaps a commercial client would like to bring to their space?
Yes, that's exactly what we do. Murals, wall covering of all kinds. We also do fabric installations. So just reach out to us. I'm sure we can help you with any type of project that has to do with wall covering. There's different materials that we can do, but decorative wall covering of any kind, it's definitely something we can help in contract projects.
I'm excited to continue working with you. I've just gotten some ideas on bringing you in on a client that we just went under contract with yesterday. So more to come, more exciting opportunities to come here in the future. And I'd like to provide a quick sneak peek at a couple of upcoming episodes that we'll also have with Olga and her team. One of the episodes will be on working with an interior designer to renovate a property. So, like Olga mentioned, bringing in the designer earlier during the viewing stage or during the perhaps option period to provide some detail design ideas and also budgeting to have a more productive option and budget analysis period with your client. And then also we'll be having a member of Olga's team on the podcast, Mary Kelly, to go into details about what it looks like to stage a home, $1 million plus home, and all of the best practices that come with it. So stay tuned for additional content with this wonderful team. And thank you so much. Olga, would you like to share any last words of advice, wisdom with our agents here today, or even something that they can share with their clients? You've already given us a wealth of information, and we're very grateful to you for that. But any last words?
I would just say to try to remove that fear from the client. Have them reach out to an interior designer. If you know one already, that's great. If not, there's a lot of designers, and I would recommend they go to ASID, which is an association of interior designers that are approved, that have been working for many years in the Houston area. And every city and state is going to have associations where you can feel comfortable you are working with professionals. So have them reach out, talk to different designers so that they can understand better the process and budgeting. And I'm sure they'll be able to find someone that will work with them happily.
I know you're located in the Houston area, but you have taken your business globally. So if an agent is interested, and really would like to connect with you, would it be okay for them to reach out directly to you, and maybe you refer them from your network, or perhaps even help them virtually? Because I know you have done consultations remotely as well.
Yes, for sure. Please reach out to me. My website is ominteriors.net, and there's a link where you can contact us. We have email and phone number there, and I'll be happy to connect you with professionals in Mexico. I also have connections all over the United States. So if you are in other states or cities, we can definitely connect you with interior designers that we've worked with in other cities. But yeah, we also do projects in Mexico City, Puebla, Guadalajara, and Monterrey through our own company.
Well, we thank you for your time today, Olga. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for enlightening us on just the various aspects of interior design and all the ways in which interior design can be accessible to our clients, and also for encouraging us and all agents listening to our podcast to create a collaboration with your local interior designer, or perhaps reach out to you and still create a collaboration, and you could perhaps work in tandem with their local designer and create a team of designers helping us with our listings. Thank you so much, and we look forward to our next podcast with you here soon, when we talk about how to structure a investment incorporating design elements to ensure we provide our clients the ROI that they're looking for. Thank you again for joining us today, and we look forward to having you as a guest again real soon.
Thank you. Looking forward to join you again.